Welcome to the program. I don't know whether you got a little bit of a light there because I want the audience to, yes, that's better. Look at your beautiful face, sir. It's better that we are seeing you now. Welcome to the program then and now. I was just telling the audience earlier on that you visited home recently. You visited home recently, and you only came back, as a matter of fact, just a few days ago. And you spent many weeks during your recent visit back home. So we were going to talk about this. So basically in a conversation, it's more like a conversation between us. And before I start, I just want to commend you, first of all, for a noble thing where you do. Maybe most people here don't know, and most people go know as well, that this very channel be able to initiate a program where some tragic incidents happen at mile 91, where we'll be able to get a small thing, where now you personally been take that money there and can go to the grieving family. So I just wonder whether you were able to begin with by sharing your experience with that grieving family, because now you physically go meet them, you'll be able to see them in person, you touch them, you feel them, you shook their hands and sympathize with them. You go want for share with we your experience, please?
Certainly. Thank you very much, Brother Prince. Thanks. I want to tell everybody thank you plenty na the forum then and now. I want to tell all you listeners and people who listen right now, tell them thank you plenty. Yes, like what you just said no more, na maybe na be the representative of then and now. So I want to commend everybody na then and now will be contribute that money there, because the people them they appreciate and greatly. Until now say be see by the video them thing we can talk now to say thing tranga, and the people them at this key moments now that particular family in life, because that man they will go take in life, so then I'll be the breadwinner for that family day. So they left that belly woman there with speaking with the own daddy. For me, go get that kind of help they them be really grateful. It was something very magical to them. They not be the expect them. So you come out from the blues, will not be notice them, will just appear no more. So them be really amazed, So now be a big thing what we do. And even when we going at national television, people them they call me, they tell me thanks. Different people them they watch them. Myself not be watch them as that much, but boku people them watch them. Even some people them video them and send them to me. People all man they talk how well how good when I don't do that then and now. So I be say I for relate this message to everybody. Now then and now, so what will be doing now? Big thing, people will be welcome and greatly, and everybody in Asalo be watch that video, they will be concerned, be all the altar. We thank you plenty for that. So I just say like relay this message first before I start anywhere.
Well done, and I must commend you. And at the same time, again, while we get the opportunity for get you now live, we been go deliver the money and meet the people them. For use the occasion for congratulate everybody in this forum, in this channel, and outside as well, because we been get outside and we also contribute. So I want to use this opportunity for say thank you. But nevertheless, that was then and this is now, and I want to talk about it now. And say between me and you, we cannot talk without talking politics, absolutely. So therefore, you've been in the country recently, and you're a man when they sit down, you're a man very active, politically active, and in other many respects, very active. So I want to ask you about your impression of the country. And I'm sure say there are negatives and there are positives. But I want to start with the positives first. What's your impression, sir?
Well, thank you very much again, Prince. So you asked me that question. There are positives and there are negatives. Unfortunately, the positive, they're not too plenty. We pray God and hope say, may God go direct the current government of His Excellency President Mada Biolo go get plenty positive. Because at the moment, the only thing we're saying are positive. God they keep put together all man day in peace and waiting and call all man they pray to God, may God help and direct the government. Now the only positive down for the time being, because I really go be on and waiting and call on fear. If I talk say I see plenty positive. Unfortunately, me say be the hope and pray for some positive things them, but they're not plenty at all. And what to make I talk this way because if I begin look now the government own flagship policy they wouldn't come with. Way before say number one thing they say for the can't fight corruption, and the other second one back this free education we didn't talk about. That begin first with the corruption one first. We begin say we be take and say, well, when the government say they want fight corruption in that country, they will be happy. Everybody, nobody know they when in that country they go say, oh, they don't want fight corruption because they don't take and say corruption. Now bad thing until they in that will progress in that country. And they know any government will able to tackle corruption. We not go finish corruption completely, but at least minimize it to a certain extent. They will able to push the country go before. But before we begin Parliament, they always at the try for say anything at the beginning, how to set them up and how to begin them. The government say they say they count for campaign corruption. Then begin for the president say they promise we over and over during the campaign say what in kind of power. They go declare asset them publicly. So all man go I go make sure say a minister them declare asset them publicly.
Mr. Kamara, we talk about the positives and the negatives, and I say first of all, I want to get your impression about the positive, but it's not like say we are running to the negative. Are we running to the negatives? Can we talk about the positive? Okay.
The question is about the positive. What be the opposite of positive? Then go there plenty for what we talk about. But there are not many positive things at all because.
So what are the few positives? If you can talk about a few, we know well, from you.
The few positive what we'll talk about. At least the free education it don't start. Although the hiccups is so many, and in fact, even the minister in charge of it as well who gets rumors, from inside because they talk with key people them. Now all the political spectrum say the minister in charge of the lower higher education instead say they grumble. Say, boy, the government don't advise them. Say, no, we wait. So talk to the people and wait at least next year. I don't for we begin this. So prepare ourselves. Instead, because the education as an institution is bankrupt, morally bankrupt, then the infrastructure of education in the country as well, it down. So for you set this free education, at least get them to a level where they go there at least manageable, then you bring this in. So this now the inside talk we'll get from the minister. Obviously, the minister not go talk to the public because they're in government. But instead say they come, we say, boy, if you don't ask the government again time say, if the next year safe, if we're not able to try for adjustment year small, then next year a jump at the let the program say begin. But unfortunately, because of the government, maybe the promises we don't make, they take and say, no, this will just jump on no more. And now we see all the hiccups them. There plenty time left. People they struggle and the process. Then the government say accept the hiccups and pass mark. So they wonder now whether if this will be sustainable again because the financial resources so for kind side, and not even half of not even kind side it. And there are schools now the one country where they complain for even chalk, where teacher they write in a blackboard and say chalk no day. All these things, but all that because of the planning is very weak. Sometimes they get good idea, but if you not put a thorough plan in, a planning go well, and everything will be go be difficult. So now this will be careful talk and advice.
Is there obviously? I mean, the task about free education was always never going to be easy, but it has to start from somewhere, and probably don't start. It started already, just like you say. But again, we are swaying to the negatives. We've heard about free education. Hopefully, then go find the resource and the wherewithal. I've been getting interview with one of the heavyweights now SLPP on this very channel. And I did express that in terms of policy. Policy needs time. It really needs time. It needs the research process. The very data or statistics within the use. Now that data is being questioned. At first, it was heralded. So we know there's going to be some difficulties. But what else on a positive note can you talk about? The idea is, the reason why we bring you is you were there. You had the feel and the heartbeat of the people. You know exactly what was being said on the ground, positives and negatives. Give us another positive about things on the ground, please. Well,
yes, thank you. Another positive way, I don't mention and just no small. Now the people in there, they wait patiently. They give the government time, they wait, so they understand, they try to talk about issues them as objectively as possible. Then be very, very fair to the government and everybody say, okay, no, we patient the government, no, be fair to them, no, we do all things for make sure, say, we say help the government. Now make you find out, say, even during the cleaning exercise, when you do monthly, people, they volunteer their own resources for help, for push the cleaning go before. So this is another positive, because waiting with the people and they cooperate and they try to do them utmost best for make sure, say, they help the government, make the government go realize their goals and objectives the way they set. So that's another big positive way I see, because during the cleaning exercise, me say go out and join and talk to the people and say whatever happened, then they do their own utmost best. You find also some people and say they provide their own wheelbarrow them for move the dirty, they provide their own tools, shovel and everything for clean and bring out youth man for clean for make the thing go before them, because I know it's a good initiative. But yet still again the planning, as we have seen the last time when even the mayor gets a fracas with the deputy minister. Instead, another thing for question.
We will come to that. We will come to that in a minute. So go just because that is done and dusted. But we go want to know from somebody who come on at the gun as to waiting really transpire and how then dust them up. But again, so give us some negatives, because every time we talk about the positive, we cannot stray into the negative. So let's go to the negatives, which I guess there are many from the direction was
yes. Unfortunately, my brother, there are many negatives. You know, we'll go talk them plenty. Even waiting the government say one do, what they want set up, then maybe don't turn out to be negative, bad one. But one of the key negative, now the economic situation of the country. Because trust me, my brother, like what I say no more, I travel the length and breadth of that country. They, places like Bo, Kenema, people then they grumble, tintranga for them. Seriously, you said they see like that economic situation of the country, wherein business let the flow. Obviously, we're not get better investors in the country at the moment, because likely waiting maybe on the talk where I talk to other big professionals as well. Even I went to the national seaports where in Wataki, what they call Wataki, where I talk with some other senior custom officers where they say they express their own opinion about this economic situation. They say them believe say that then good cause them because the increase of custom tariff. When then tariff increase, maybe say first time, if you get a Jeep, small Jeep you put in a Europe, you can't go na salon day, it'll cost you about 7 million for clear them. Now, my brother, I'm telling you, it's nearly 15 million. And like what you always say, with man, they say, a quick pen is better than a slow shilling. So what would they experience now before? Who said them they be 200-300 motor car, they wait now bad for clear. Now, if they reach 50 motor car, hardly. Because the people themselves now, they say they do just they manage and life from more, do small business. They say they expect to get profit. Man them, Libanese man them, some country man all based in the country. Trust me, over the other 5-6 containers. Now they struggle for income in one container. They say even though they increase them prices them, they still they struggle because a container now where they come out in Asia, when then Chinese thing, they can carry to the import of the country, and it costs nearly 70 to 80 million leos for pull na ports. And this is plenty money. Tell people for go begin sell pull money they waiting and call. You see, so we all be the talk, and then people they say the advice, and then fee say now one of the root cause of the problem now one day, and they don't try for advise the government, but for some reason the government they ignore them completely. Nothing they go through the government. Any them just focus on them for raise boku revenue, one way or the other. But the question is, if the business is not boku in the country and company not in the country, who's going to get this revenue also? Because I want guys to go on schools and say, what the other side go come again? Who's what I go come again? Now the one guy say no more. You see, so now this will
you will get people surely we go disagree with the way how you categorize the economic situation in terms of the way how the government they go and get in tax, because government, the SLPP government, we don't say, then go focus on local taxation for generate revenue. So probably this is what they are doing. But you go equally understand, say, when the government come into power, then question some of the tactics of the former government, okay? And the former government been getting your ifs and buts. And in trying to rectify these ifs and buts by the former government, this government institutes some disciplinary measures in terms of how to raise revenue. They might be going too fast and too much, but could you say that they are on the right path or on the wrong path?
No, my brother, I think they're absolutely on the wrong path, because this is not for only Salon, this is an African issue. You know, about few decades back, 20, 30 years back, we get countries when they refer to as the Asian tigers. Country like Malaysia, Singapore, even South Korea. Then country are waiting and do, then lower than taxes. So they encourage international investors. I mean, you find out even you footwear the way you Nike, you Adidas, they make an end country and they because waiting do they're not able to make an Europe because they know say them produce in Europe. The cost for producer will be too expensive. So you find out that they go produce an end country. Even now, iPhone and others, they produce in China because waiting do the company Apple they know say when they produce in China, it's cheaper for produce and the tax that they pay is lower. So what they create? It creates plenty employment for their country and they. So the government in turn, they're able to tax the wages of their country and they, then their own people wages and create and get boku revenue from that. Then two, this company goes with huge infrastructural development. You see, So all now and the end, big economies.
Mr. Kamara, we quick for mention, Asia, which in itself on pen and paper, it sounds good. But the Asian tigers, where you talk about, they also come with conditions. Like, for example, I'm not sure whether it's Malaysia or Indonesia, one of them, they rejected, funds like from the IMF and etc. So then institution and they not be able to determine as to how then country then they go develop. Okay, so there's a difference when you take these loans, from the IMF and you get for open your market and then they determine, as opposed to, pardon me, I get a little bit of a cold, as opposed to when you not take them at all and are you they determine your economic status, how things they go. Because I think that Malaysia outside and get one of the oldest president. Then the tactic then the way them be employed. Of course, the Asian countries, they are more prosperous because of their approach, but not all of them are on equal footing. Their approach towards economic development being kind of different. As opposed to we now, we soak up in debt, and up to this day, we continue for the take debt, we're designed by the IMF and others. So it was difficult for we. This is the point I'm trying to make.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Prince. Yeah, what you say no more so. Me na posting a day, me na anti-IMF. I don't feel say IMF they able help at all for develop our country them. But how we able come on under IMF is if we able encourage other international investors and can invest in our country. Because right now the country they not get no capital at all. You find out say the government and just they depend for IMF getting another loan, and that loan they will be pending. Tell the IMF they turn and not give them because IMF all care what they care about when they give them loan. Now how you go repay the loan and they don't care about. You see, but what we need if we don't need IMF that much at all, what we believe so we need to get international investors in. And how we get international investors in, if we lower our taxes them, that they give one way big way that they encourage them for many can invest in our country. If we know we can get competitive tax rates like Europe, where the man will say if I can't open business in Europe and open business in salon at the same taxes that they pay, or near taxes that they pay. But if you know somebody go salon, don't forget we labor market is very cheap. And with taxation very, very cheap, that don't encourage them. Okay, say business go make profits. But how we salon go profit palane because salon na a young the population is very, very young. We need jobs them. So we were able to get employment for people and plenty. But could tell what the members say for subsidize. We don't need to subsidize if that man they work. When the man they work, he able to pay and bill, he able to pay away. You see? So we now able to say, okay, well, for long raise revenue for the government, we can able to tax the man salary. Because when they work, they tax the man salary. Nowadays, we get thousands of graduates every year. Trust me, thousands of people that graduate from university with master's degree, first class, and able to get job. Because there are no jobs there. The main employer at the government, away come on our government, now small company no more because we don't get big business company in the country because we not encourage them. We're going to encourage them, create the atmosphere, conducive climate for them, like lower taxes. Obviously, the wage get very low, and all them things they go entice them for many in kind of country. And another thing again, we are for other for create political stability. So this is another.
Okay, we go come to that. I don't want to lump up all the topics here into one because we get economics what we talk about now, and then we get security which we go come to. But of course, at some point we go fuse them. We go fuse them both. But once we're on the economy, let's talk about food security. How is it on the ground? Because I know say you don't expatiate a lot, on the generation of taxes and how they affect business people. And of course, then when they're waiting at the gun way they are being taxed, then easily they pass on the bill to the consumers. They make it easy. So therefore, are you going to say if this basis is correct, the way I analyze them? And if so, that means there is going to be difficulties for people, the consumers, on the ground. Is that the case?
Yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Because we all know, say, one of the conditions when IMF begin the government, now for men withdraw the subsidy for the rest. When our basic commodity and we all obviously know, say, one arrest we survive per. Let it almost say IMF says it not mean good for we, but the government and say because of the desperate, the policy and they look into the policy, they accept. So now what's happen now? The rest every day, nobody able to know in price again because where you go Kenema, how much they sell rest is different. Where you go Kono a different, where can fit a different. And for letting you know, say this is very, very serious. The last time I did it, na Poloko district, then Kego some rest, they say na Samoa Kamara rest. I think they subsidize arrest when na Samoa Kamara do them. People were fighting for buy the rest. I think it was 200,000. People they fight for buy them. Well, me say fet some one not fet go up to see man fet in company just for they buy no more because you know people and they in the situation they very very dire for them. People are struggling. There are people and they way all the money way gap and don't know how they able eat. Not one person. No, these are thousands of people. You know, you're gonna learn different base. People and baby people themselves they you know they put themselves down in short away just so men get a survivor because there is no way these people want jobs. And for anybody to you say, oh, that people don't want to work, I make this, that's not true. And I give one example. Recently, before I come, Najue, no, na Hastings, yes, it was in Hastings. That big field day. Somebody go lie by the people and say, then get some team planting job upline. So the people in candidate, you can register them, they go to pay them, and then go work na upline day. When me they pass, if you see the people, them, I believe it's over 1,000 young man them. If you see them, what's they happen? I feel all that thing. If I go ask her, this and explain to me. That's it. There's only people and say no see people. People don't do it from almost up since the morning now. So man don't do it 4 o'clock. They wait. Nothing on the, you know, then they taste and they beat them. No job, no nothing. Somebody just go ox them no more. Let's see how people are desperate about the jobs. Then if some man are just messaging when you don't want to go there. So man come all the way now Western. You don't want to go Hastings. You don't even know safe waiting, you know. That's how desperate the people are. The people want to work. They want any kind of opportunity. But
okay.
Unfortunately.
Bob Sulonte, how you doing, my brother? Long time indeed. I hope all is well. My sister-in-law, Doreen Pratt, how are you? Just a quick question. Somebody post something at the medium where I want to bring to your attention, which is, but before I go there, now Sister Melinda Johnny, very critical indeed. But before I go there, I understand you say Mohamed Kamara bring rice. Is that correct? And people
yes,
were
yes. That's what I get that from the people. Yes.
Yeah, but that could be politics and trying for unstabilize whatever Lily stability according to you good day. Because if rice cost 200,000 or 200,000 plus more somewhere, and somebody bring rice, you know, yeah, for less than that, obviously you go expect a stampede towards that direction there, and owing to the person where Brian come, therefore you go ascribe, you know, yeah, some political activity to that. But this is what Sister Melinda is saying at the forum, Brother Med. What happened to the international, they quote them directly, what happened to the international investors? The taxes they paid in the 10 years, and yet still we are in so much debt. You want Rob Mott Fernandez more?
Yes, I will Rob Mott Fernandez. I tell him thank you plenty for your question. But I just clarify that first away talk about Dr. Samura. Dr. Samura, although not a politician, also a citizen. If you see the people that they suffer and you get way for help, I feel say the people that go welcome them. Anybody where able go help one way or the other, you say you not go wait someone say, well, where the people that they suffer are not go help because of the government ain't responsible. You know, if they not help me, say not go help. But if you able get you really nothing for help, I feel say the people that be welcome them because you can able buy and say, okay, me they take the losses or 200,000, if not 300,000, me take the losses, I take the 100,000 I pay, then let the people go get how much so people go able survive. I feel say that be a good gesture where people can be welcome.
But while you are right, while you are right, are you trying to say that was not politics? Looking at in clout and
well, cotton cause the man like politician, so anything we do, obviously politics mad into and back. But if he says as a Sierra Leonean and a humanitarian, he says they feel the pain of the people. If you see the people that they suffer, obviously he says get way for help. Then you, like you say as a Sierra Leonean, you say if anybody that's the way they see they suffer. You know, just say because of we don't need politics now. Because if you want help, people will talk. Say, oh, now because Mr. Prince, now politician.
That's the difference, Mr. Med. You know, yeah, I am an ordinary Joe. Dr. Samura is way up there, and I believe saying that the leader of the major opposition party, and we know the politics that is going on the ground, so we know where we are coming from. Anyway, let's make progress. You be want to address Sister Melinda in inputs at the forum. 10 years of taxation, yes. Yet we are.
Melinda said the international investors the tax will be paid, but when we see the development, the past 10 years, the tax will the few international investors will be get there. Where they mine iron ore, then create plenty jobs. Where boku people then benefit, we see the money them put. Go then at the country when at the Salon government, not so international, don't know. Now Salon government says construct them out of their own resources. So
and without disturbing your flow, just for let you catch up, it also puts an addition, you know, yeah, which is people were struggling for the same rise as prices were going up back in 2016, 2017, and now 2018. In other words, if we can paraphrase them, now just a continuity of the problem we you talk about. Would you agree?
Okay, no, well, it gets a point, but to a certain extent, what we try for say the rest where the people they struggle for so now, just when this government can have power, this gets be the 170, 180 per bag of rice. Now, as I talk, so some selling they will be quote for you, it got almost 300,000 for the basic bag of rice. Some they selling at 280 for basic bag of rice. So if you check the time from that 2016 where they talk for to 17, how did the inflation be there? We know there is inflation in our country, but now the hyperinflation we get at the country. Till the way don't go up over 50%. Where before them they go up at least 5%, 10%. Because waiting the economy be able to tick over small because you cannot get a country right now at the world where not get inflation. Now one country where get deflation say not good for economy because waiting people are earning the go down. But you get able to control inflation in relation to the people and income. If it thinks that they go up 40, nearly 50%, that is just unsustainable. Now a calamity for the people and why the people salary basically they depreciate. So we see what's in Tondoneh. But like what the time for say the taxes and more they get from them company and they see the government invest in them because waiting we see even the free healthcare for children and lactating mothers.
We all due respect, Mr. Kamara, you are deviating from the point. What the sister said, and for just add the last part, please. The rice price as at present where they go up, we understand it will cost more because these are new times. It will cost more than it was back then. But there was a trend. This is not the basic categorization of the situation. There was a trend. In 2016, 2017, the price of rice or basic commodities be already they go up. So for say now it costs 280, today it may cost 260. Of course, that's rubbish to be honest, because you expect them to go up, and that's exactly you deal with when you talk about inflation. As long as the price of inflation continue to go up, but for sanitize one side and demonize the other side on basically something where now the common denominator between the two, I find that difficult to understand.
No, okay, Brother Prince, I think you missed my point there. What I try to say, the rate of inflation before when that government be there, even UK ordinance, so right at the rate of inflation is about 2.something%. Inflation somehow a bad but a good sometimes for stabilize the economy. We understand that, but you not go get a rate of inflation moving from 2, 3 as I be there like 5% or so, 5 to 6%, it automatically move to 40% plus. That's a hyperinflation, not good for any country. That's what is happening since the 6 months of the inception of this new government. The inflation be there, but it be controlled. It be the most 5%, 5.something%. Now, from the way it kick up, when this government come in, where it kick up is from 30%, upwards to 40%. And some of commodities, nearly 50%. So this is not sustainable.
Make a be hypothetical because we need to move on. Make a be hypothetical quickly because the point where you make, you are right. But is it possible that possibly in the previous time that the inflation, in order for control them, some unorthodox methods were used where possibly, potentially, I make a say in theory, I take money from some side and lock some side, okay? Just so the people are not going to feel the pinch of that inflation there. Possibly for control inflation, put them at single digits instead of double digits, we're going to make them worse. But with this government, we come now and say, well, no, you own approach where you been get. We are not going to use that approach because that approach in the end is just going to be disastrous. So we need to feel the pinch now, so there's going to be a storm and then there will be a calm. So in other words, all them then hold them. In fact, not in other words, they said this in the supplementary budget. They unplug all them holes and decide for generate revenue locally. So they put emphasis on that day. And all who side the government been subsidized, make in the past, they unplug them. So therefore, there's an effect, and that effect they is massive because now they feel across the nation. But are we saying, here that this is not a good policy? That in the end, it's not going to pay off, because probably that's the direction the government is focusing.
Yes, thank you, Brother Prince. That policy you talk about, so that policy will never work because we don't see, in simple economics, you get forget liquid cash or capital for invest for like if na business you do, now the capital they use for make your business go grow. But what will they see now? We know say this the current government then there's no capital in the country. So how they go able to get this taxation where they say go raise money from? No, then get for create the environment for the private sector. You know, the government not only run the economy all the time. The private sector will play a key part. The private sector will be the biggest employer. And creating job is very, very key. When you get the job then the government is able to get revenue from the people. You see, people they work, then go able to pay them way, then go able to pay taxes, then go able to buy commodities where business people them go to bring come, and the government go able to tax them business people have so money they cannot country. But if the people, if all these other apparatus all close, then it happen. Job not there, and businessman and they count business. It go difficult for them. You see how salon go economy go able lift up. We go any kind of thing we talk about that the previous government. The previous government when they take power from 2007, in fact, the economy was just over $2 billion US dollar. They moved out to nearly $5 billion before they left power. So that don't show you say yes, the economy be they go one way or the other. And when the economy they go, they allow the government to
that's quite true, sir. We can't just talk about the colorful side of the gun government, because what you've just said, I read it and it appeared to be fact. It's not been corroborated in the meantime because it comes from the same source. So I don't really know, but I saw that same thing that the economy grew between 2 billion when they took over to 5 billion. But at the same time, what we know is there was rampant. Okay, that's fine. Let's accept that as a fact. But at the same time, there was rampant corruption, where people like Dr. Kaifala Mara try for reigning in terms of fiscal discipline. I mean, not a good word for use at this time because the APC people might feel offended, but this was just fact. Money been there all over the place, but there was so much, pork belly here, bribery there, corruption there, and the rest of it. And people that will try for sanitize the situation be found difficult under the government. So probably that waste money, they around again, like when they go around, because all of these holes that we've been talk about, they don't plug them. Is that not the case?
Well, no, that's not the case at all. Because what's new, the last government, if when they say corruption, yes, we not say corruption, we must do that. Nobody will deny say corruption all day.
Rampant. That's the critical word in there. Because yes, it go there. So I'm not just one for let you treat them as such, because all side corruption there. But I went to the extent of using the critical word rampant.
Yes, the emphasis, Mr. Kamara. It's very difficult for ascertain the fact that way there, because waiting make people like forget about corruption. The government you say now small side. We get the civil service sector, the private sector, all inside they all man they play a part for corruption. But what we will see the last time when the government be there, we they see the government investments in the country, where the country in revenue they go and the government back they invest. We see the infrastructure development will take place. We see investment in the health sector. We see investment in education sector where the government people know that.
So the means justify the end. Let me progress, Mr. Kamara. Yeah. I want to talk about security situation. Let's move on to security. Not very many weeks ago, there were many of us who were concerned, and I know you were very much present on social media talking about the state of security, post-election violence. That's been something we've been very, very keen, here to you, where you've been all very close to your heart, and you not mince your words at all. You were always there, saying something about the state of security. As we speak today, and you just come out there, you just become waiting, you go say, now the state of the security way we all been kind of the worry about just a few weeks ago.
Thank you very much, Brother Prince, for that question. I feel so unfortunately no change. We're still there in a very fragile state because waiting do now any democratic state, the rule of law will be very, very paramount. The rule of law, if people and where they in authority they follow the rule of law, then that democracy is shaky and the security and stability of that country as well is shaky. We all see a typical example recently where the deputy minister of local government go attack openly the mayor when the mayor be only they ask for accountability. Now then give the mayor the responsibility, say they want accountability and transparency. All what the mayor they ask is, do you have them law read they can't take them to see them. Now we see them, when they all come, we'll register them. We'll register them so that we know send them the work. They know can pay them money and not they the work. We see how the minister was so hungry. Say the mayor wants to sabotage the process. If I just pay the people, and these are the same people who they say they can't fight corruption. You see, now make that this problem here Kimona, beaucoup people right in a saloon. Like what they tell you so this most of what I talk to now, people their opinion in a saloon. Now people them even some people them vote for SLPP, government in a power, and their own opinion. Because they say, boy, this government don't can and say they want fight corruption. We'll be not doing the campaign where the president will talk about corruption. Say in when he come, in asset go declare it publicly. What the president cannot do one. The minister will be saying they will declare the asset publicly. Where he can not do one. So who's that corruption this? Then don't look the way how even the ACC commission and count them in. The one will be them sack them in a corrupt way. Then we can in a corrupt way. So something the way you want to do something when open and transparent something, you can for set example. Many people in C say yes. This person also, they don't set a bright example what we say go follow. It's like this constitutional instrument where the debates are parliamentary right now. You know, this constitutional instrument where the government want to use for set up a commission of inquiry, it clearly states as a constitution say when you set them up, that court say it will be an equivalent to an high court in a saloon. You know, and the burden of proof na any high court, if in a criminal case, you get for be beyond reasonable doubt. If in a civil case, a balance of probabilities. Why on earth this constitutional instrument they ask say, men they say the burden of proof lower than that? You know, when you want justice, why you not go make them fairly open and transparent? Honestly, when people are going to say, is this person really want fight and corruption? Honestly, openly, where nobody no go get crumbs from. Say, well, because everybody want to fight corruption. We know like when you try to talk this, so corruption is cancer now we country. So one way we not go say we'll eliminate 100%, but if we able put them down to a level where before say we continue able and prosper, everybody welcome them. Everybody glad for that one day. But is this government really serious about fighting corruption? That's the question.
Talking on the issue of parliament, because that will be my next point. I want to let you tell because how is this parliament functioning? There were many complaints. All right, Mr. Kamara, to have you back. How the parliament they function, because we know say the majority of parliamentarians belong to the major opposition party, which happen to be the All People's Congress, and then the ruling party, the second in line, and then you get the other smaller parties, and C4C, NGCs, and the rest of it. Few months back, we've been get Boku complain as to how the parliament, the function, how the government, the president, they sideline the parliament. Because it'd be obvious, if you take issues and can't go to parliament, there's a likely defeat if there's no cross-bench or cross-partisanship in parliament. So there's a likely defeat for flagship programs for the president or in party. So therefore, they rule by decree and edicts. So many months on, how you go say this parliament, they function in terms of critical issue? One way you just mentioned before we lost you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brother Prince. Sorry when I lost me. I'm back. Yes, that's a very, very critical question. But the one thing back where we try for talk, you know, democracy, the people they don't talk. Even all the people don't be accept, they don't accept it, and so the government don't set up. Where the government be dead and the opposition get majority in a parliament. But first of all, what did the government do? We all see. They come and make sure say by force go install a own speaker and deputy speaker. We're not supposed to be. We're not be the opposition be supposed to get the speaker. But okay, with notwithstanding that, we see anytime where issue come up in a parliament, the government just the bulldoze and complain the speaker just they implement what he want implement because what he do it don't it overrule the majority people in the parliament. We're not get no option for do even this constitutional instruments now where the opposition now say no, if not so then go boycott because what he do when no say parliament will go into recess now then can't go to parliament and go hide them. By the time when the opposition pick them up say hey, no this thing not correct so need for debate they want to say no where the 10 don't pass. So you know me not for debate and that be then a radio people and talk about and argue time then later on the speaker say okay well, now they can't allow no debate and back. You see so the speaker say they flip flop like that it does what he wants to do. People they wait and come, but all this they are because of the people want peace and security in the country. So then just they come, they try to do all kinds, even the opposition party for accommodate the government, all kind of way. Any kind of way when they turn them, they accommodate and make them peace and stability and security will reign in the country. But now the government they don't turn up for many go expect democracy. Many know say democracy, it gets all the segments away make democracy, the rule of law and all that things and everything them will make democracy. Therefore, we expect time. If they expect time, it's good for the country, and that will make democracy go in our country and development and wait and go in our country. But the government now now them all on left and because the opposition and other parties, this is not only the APC party, I feel say the NGC party, the C4C party, they all always NTR. So because even remember the way Parliament be openly way can you refer to the sort of democracy as counter democracy because they come and go policeman name, pull MPs in the Parliament, do all kinds of way not be correct. And up to now, we see the same thing again where the parliamentary they raise concern. They talk about issues them where the government they completely ignore them. They follow the procedure. They follow the due process of law, which is really, really unfortunate. We they still call on them, say, in a democratic state, for us to maintain that democracy because we remind the government, say, this democracy, during Tijan Kaba and people they die for this democracy. People they die, people they suffer for this democracy. And Tijan Kaba, may God bless him, it fought for maintain that democracy. And as Komaba come, it's a maintain the democracy day. So we expect say this government that for being on number one priority for maintain democracy, let democracy go grow, men follow the rule of law, make everything work according to how it's supposed to work, more country will go before.
On the issue of the mayor, I just want to take you back on the issue of the mayor. Because that was certainly under security when they talk about post-election violence, the issue of the mayor and the rest of it, where we get this fracas openly with a deputy minister. Was this an issue where not been one of an overzealous minister where they try for doing job, you know, and thereby they go in conflict with the mayor because it appear for say they not understand in responsibility and not understand the mayor in responsibility in remit within the Freetown municipality, or na be issue of corruption? Waiting you understand na the ground because we hear about trucks, the registration of trucks, and the rest of it. Waiting are you understanding while you've been there at the ground?
Well, thank you, Brother Prince. This is the way you talk almost. If not be first thing happen, go say now overzealous somebody way, if just the try for overwork no more or something. But this is not the first time. You know, this be don't happen where the CA, the chief administrator of Freetown City Council, be attack the mayor back because of the mayor say the money they give the ward the council on each ward now for pay for 14 people and it was 20 people now 14 people and the Ministry of Finance be release statement say now each ward now 100 people they pay. When the mayor counter and they say no, the mayor not for talk openly. The mayor say but we don't talk openly. The man make many people and know say the council of them each one they receive only for 14 people the money. If I go put na gazette say na 100 people, and people go say, hey, we cancel. How come so I pay 14 people when they say na 100 people? They say, look, I make a clarify. Open the mayor, man go there, man go yeri. So they don't know say this mayor na straightforward mayor where they work according to the rules when they set. When they say set and they say they want transparency and non-corrupt thing called the mayor they follow and they do completely like that one day. So we'll be really, really surprised because even this attack here, where the deputy minister attack, it don't make any sense. If the mayor say I need to pay them people, I'll see proof. It was okay, mayor, no problem. Like call the people them where the man who own the truck, where they can do this cleaning. Men come them truck them, men come back, when you see them, they pay them. You know, we don't say people that they work for 2-3 days before you pay them, a week you pay them. Not just something for be argumentative where you for go harass the mayor or intimidate the mayor. But this is, I think it's their modus operandi for intimidate. You know, that way they come and go say that within a government, that's what they do, that's what they do. If you not doing that's all we do, we don't like you, we don't like this, you know, and that is not good at all. And you know, this I don't kill the people in confidence. Because people they say, but we don't fight corruption, how are we going to behave so now? So what's kind of corruption I can for confidence? This is not just fake corruption, on a witch hunt, on a just try for use corruption for not within a power. You know, because people are confused, they don't know what's going on.
While you've been there at the ground, thanks for that, Mr. Kamara. While you've been there at the ground, did you hear anything as whether this issue was resolved, whether the president, you know, intervened, not publicly per se, but maybe a phone call? Was there any hint? Because like you say, there's been several attacks on the mayor of Freetown, and that was just one way we did at the open. And of course, the court of public opinion be able for adjudicate on that matter, and we know Uda do wrong, Uda do right. But the mayor was smart enough for make several key points, such as I am in for the presidential agenda, and an agenda now they try for carry out. I thought that was a very powerful statement, and it was captured live on social media and the rest of it. And the minister happened for look, you know, desperate for one carry out, you know, cleaning activity or whatever. But definitely waiting being obvious is that there was a fracas between two officials, very powerful officials, one appointed, one elected. Did you hear any hint whether president or somebody be intervened for say, look, we need for calm down, we tone down, and the rest of it?
Well, better you ask this question, Brother Prince, because it's really unfortunate. We not get from the president enough. We not get the president talk too much. Because key should happen at the country. What we expect, say the president will come say, hey, well, this would happen, that's so. That's so we do this because I know a president for all man at the country. But we not get the president at all. But I mean, the mayor be going on radio. He's saying ready for forgive and move on because the question are very, very decent lady. We're ready for work with the government for push the country go before. He said, you know, the government said they want to do something for push the country go before transparent, honest, and clear. So now that agenda then they follow. So if we don't put them to rest really, they don't say, well, you're not ready for waiting. But unfortunately, we see the same minister kind of radio say, you know, regret time, happy waiting the action will be taken, and then get the opportunity for it. He said at least he regret time, but he didn't regret. But we will not be doubt because like what they say, that same intimidating tactics. And that tactics and now they know they work nowadays. Now the 21st century with the people them social media and everything there, people they reason enough and then go hold people them to account. So tomorrow they go hold them to account who believe. But like what you say also, I think the matter be done there to rest now. The mayor don't continue for work aside the work and move on and hopefully continue work where they do.
The majority party in a parliament and the major opposition party, the APC, seem for they in deep trouble. Deep trouble in the sense there is seem for be a growing division in the party. I want to talk about a movement, the new reform movement, which seem for to gain a foothold. Okay, you've been there Freetown recently. You must have heard first-hand information at the ground about this new reform movement, the way forward. Will you give us a description of what you hear, how you understand them, and what you hope for?
Okay, thank you, Brother Prince. I'm glad you asked me that question because you see, I mean, this way to talk. Say APC is a progressive party. Now, party where they tolerate all views, all opinions, and ideas. Then you see that particular reformation movement that in NRM, National Reformation Movement. We are about them, you know. But APC is a broad church. It cover all man. You know, we believe say as a party, people then they must go be dissatisfied with certain things. Then we want different reforms. Then because a big party, a national party. We not going to expect say all man told the same line. That's not healthy at all. In a democratic party, you can forget people with different opinions and different ideas. So who believes say all the ideas that the party they work towards them. If you find out maybe most of the difference in Oboku at all, and the party they work tediously for men and bring up all the ideas there together and for move the party forward and subsequently move the country forward. Because we believe say the difference is in Oboku at all. The difference are small differences because all the modernization, all the way to where the NRM want, I believe say some people they say one time, now the way no more and method where people they carry them. So we believe say the party as a big party, national party, when a national institution our country they able to handle all this here. Then people all they able to put their hands together, then go able to make sure say then debate issues them thoroughly. Because APC is a progressive party, a party where they listen to all dissenting views, all ideas.
It sounds very much that Yusuf they in for reformation, very critical word, and at that these people then look they pursue, and the path then they pursue. But when you say that the method and way how then they carry them out, what do you mean? Would you explain to the general public, please?
Yes, because what I mean is, in any political party, people they always come up with ideas, and you know, say when APC lost the election, they set up a 9-man committee team, a 9-man and woman committee team where they look into the causes them and bring kind of recommendation how they go move forward. So there are many things them where we all know at the party. Somebody want to make changes, somebody want to changes, somebody want to changes. But we all get for sit down together, bring come views them together and discuss them, debate them thoroughly.
Mr. Kamara, the problem here is, or appear for be, 7 months or so after the All People's Congress lost power, then commissioned a 9-man committee for bring out a report. Come on, my friend. 7 months going. Where's the report? So
yes,
what are people supposed to do?
The report, my brother, I mean, say get information. The report is ready. But you know what I'm saying? They can't send the report. Now make a talk say na a national institution. Boku say, you know, say Boku intimidation, they go against the party. The party gets all that key team back when they perfect with every day. They say they attack and support under, they attack this somebody under, they go by election. We see the last by election at Tonko where people go, they attack people and they, you know, all the things when they happen. So these are many, many things when they happen at the same time when they set this nine-man committee.
And because now the delayance of the party in 13-man committee or 9-man committee where they're supposed to present the report where they're supposed to present, which has not been presented up to this day. Now it make people unsettled and now some kind of vacuum exists, like what the president been saying, the ex-president been saying in the resign and the rest of it, and it's still there 7 months on. People don't know what's in the go on. Nobody not really the talk. The officials are not talking. They are quiet. Don't you see that as a problem? And that they make people become nervous and unsteady, and people see that as a vacuum. No, therefore, people are speaking up.
Thank you, Brother Prince. The people they follow up, but the officials they talk. You know, say the party gets a PRO. You know, the public relation waiting and call every 1, 2, 3 days. You see the party and then a radio. Then they talk to different media outlets and talk to the people and explain to the people what they go on and the issues and where they attend and how they deal with them. Now, see where they go on, the discussion they go on completely, but like why are they say no more? Like why are they say no more? Where they na opposition, where they face so much issues them, like how the party they face so a difficult, the challenge them beaucoup. So I believe say all the APC as them, they got to be patient. They got to be patient.
Okay.
We try to work together as a team.
Okay.
As a team, as a team.
So you say the report ready and you be did it, and I know that you are a man who is well connected. So just before we end this interview, 2 quick questions. One, did you hear Dr. Lawyer Kaloko spoke on this very issue? You be listening to him. Lawyer Kaloko be come out with some very powerful submission and delivery. I think about 2 or 3 parts. Did you listen to that?
Unfortunately, I'll not be able to listen to him. Unfortunately, I'll be able to, I'll not be able to listen to him. Because the way say maybe so difficult for me to catch up on everything.
It was a very powerful delivery, and the question what we want to ask around that, had you listened, is whether there's going to be any difference from what Lawyer Kaloko say, or much difference between what Lawyer Kaloko say and what that report they go contain, because Lawyer Kaloko seem for don't speak to the report, speak about the report, speak for the report. That's so that representation they look to be very powerfully delivered. But this is the point, Mr. Kamara. While you've been there free tongue, I believe say you meet a couple of high-level people, including the ex-president. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Yeah. What did you learn from that visit with the ex-president? I know say when I talk on a private talk, not to everything need for come outside. Of course, all things get yonkuku jumuku. But what did you learn from your experience with sitting down, with the ex-president that you would like for share with we?
Well, unfortunately, I not be get anything way for rebel shouts and way I learned from the ex-president, because I meet the ex-president, that was I've been birthday. So mostly you will talk about birthday celebration and congratulate the ex-president for what he don't do and everything like that. But I want to go again back to that point where you make about Lawyer Kaloko. Lawyer Kaloko na another APC, senior APC member. I believe say he's getting your own views. For like I able to take and say most of what he talk go don't cover all the 9-man reports. I feel say Daniel go stretch and too much, because waiting to other people and say go they get different views. So maybe na your own views the number way you see, and I go categorize the 9-man reports na in your ask in your own way. But other people back get different views. I make a talk say the APC party is
of course, Mr. Kamara, you are right in your own opinion. What you're not right to, or all of us don't have a right to, I always emphasize that, is to we own set of facts. Of course, you're entitled to your opinion. But it's fine for let you listen. When you listen, what the man address now issues where definitely when the reports come up, it will definitely be inside the report. Because it's like, that's not rocket science, how we lost the elections. Then I want critical question than the way the report need for address. Why? Okay, you can't deny that the report will definitely have to address that.
What I'm saying. Now, Brother Prince, Boku get different reasons why we lost the election. Boku different reasoning. You see?
I agree. But the man not saying offer the reason, offer, or maybe it just touch around them. But now the issue then the way it talk about now the delivery, very powerful delivery. I go ask you for let you try and listen to them. If I still get a copy, I go try for send it over to you. Finally, on a final note, Mr. Kamara, you from I mean, I've got great respect for you, I must say that. And you appear, act like a real and true patriot, where I believe say one see better for that country day. But you appear to belong to the other side in terms of the political argument, in terms of a political party. You happen to be na the opposition side, but always they speak truth to power. The question I want to ask is, what do you want to see for your country? And then finally, usa you see your party in the next 5 years and probably 10 years, but we'll begin and first with the 5 years. What do you want to see for your country as we speak today going forward? And then usa you see your party in the next 5 years, 2023 I'm speaking to.
Okay, thank you very much, Brother Prince. What I want to see for my country, I want to make this government within a power, may they maintain the democracy with the meet, may they maintain the peace and security of the people, because now the paramount responsibility for any government in that country for maintaining the peace and security and welfare of the people in that country. That will be the number one responsibility. May they make sure they bring coming policies then, we go alleviate the suffering of the people, because people are suffering in the country. That's 100% clear. Anybody who go to that country will see the suffering. You know, say the suffering untold suffering the people they go through. May them do something. We go alleviate that suffering. May them do something. We go bring employment to that country. May them do something. We go bring a national cohesion, because there's lots of division. May them do something as a national government. They good for all man. May them good for all man. May them bring people in together and make sure say the country forge ahead. But for me, Pion party like the APC party. Now, a big party where we don't do beaucoup success under the last leadership of his former president, Anes Koroma. We see the country, the country moved from a $2 billion US dollar economy to nearly $5 billion US dollar economy. We see massive infrastructural development. We see loss of development in the health sector, loss of development in the education sector. We see loss of the country, even that's the HDI, Human Development Index, we see the country, they go up. Why just this 6 months, it don't go down back. The HDI weight and measurement for country don't go down. We see the country get peace and security, stability. People them they come out, international company they come for invest in the country. That we don't show say that's they happen. So we believe say with all this kind of evidence and how the people that they cry out of the country, they miss the APC party. I believe they come with all differences, we are a progressive party where we unite tomorrow, we discuss all the issues there. So, and come 2023, I believe so we'll come back in the power, we'll take the reins of power and move that country to a middle income country. As stand we target for 2030 for make Salon a middle income country. If God give by God in power, come 2023, we'll go do that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kamara. This interview ended on a high note of optimism that in 2023, I will see my party in power. I'm paraphrasing Mr. Kamara, who I've just had a brilliant interview with. Of course, the Human Development Index for Sierra Leone is now, in dire strait. But it could be because of the political wranglings that are going on. And hopefully what we all hope for as citizens of that great country is to make sure that everything, is successful. But like I said from the beginning, there's going to be a storm before the calm, and we hope that calm comes soon. To take a budget from 2 billion to 5 billion, that was quite a huge thing to do. And whoever did that, of course, it was the All People's Congress. They must be commended for that. But we are talking about these present times. That was such a brilliant interview. But just before we go, ladies and gentlemen, Abiwanle, we know say we 1 year anniversary they come. This channel has been around for almost 12 months. We are 2 months shy of we 1 year and channel next week. We have Dr. Justina Mutale. She's big. Among the 360 women recognized in Africa by the United Nations, the British House of Commons, the US Congress, Justina Mutale, doctor, is one of them. And girls empowerment or woman empowerment, very close to her. And then about the Chinese invasion of Africa, investment, and the rest of it. Now, issues we also like for discuss, so we'll discuss right here. And the week after, we get Dr. Josephine Onyambo. She's also a secretariat at the Commonwealth. So we get two big issues then where they come up. So we're keep in touch, we're watch the space because we're going to put out the announcement then. Mr. Kamara, it's always been a pleasure speaking to you and to the rest of the team. I want to say thank you very much for listening. And I wish everybody a very pleasant week. From me and the Then and Now crew, goodbye and good night.
Thank you.